Hey, hi, hello everyone and welcome to Tiger in the Tube Shop Infinite Capacity. This week we're out on a quest in the world of Pathfinder, or if you're old school, Dungeons and Dragons. We've been adventuring for a couple of weeks now. We've crawled through the halls of a whole bunch of dungeons. We have collected so much loot. We're going to be absolutely filthy rich if we have somewhere to store it, which is why this week we're going to be talking about extra-dimensional storage spaces. The bag of holding, the handy haversack, the bigger on the inside pockets of the Doctor's trench coat, Mary Poppins' carpet bag, the list of extra-dimensional storage spaces in fiction just seems to go on and on and on and on. But regardless of the implementation, there is a very consistent set of rules that appears to exist surrounding these devices, and the only distinction that really needs to be made is whether the bag is sentient, that is, it knows exactly what you're looking for and will offer that item up to you, or whether it's non-sentient, that is, you have to go fishing around in the storage device yourself. Regardless of the sentience of the bag though, which is just a convenience thing more than anything, all extra-dimensional storage spaces have a seemingly impossibly large capacity for your stuff in a very small container. This means that in something roughly the size of a messenger bag, you'll be able to hold a suit of armor, your laptop, some cooking utensils, a portable shower, a few good books and a hat stand, with the potential room for more depending on the quality of the bag, as this seems to be the defining factor in just how much stuff it can hold. Unlike Pokeballs, which we looked at last week, extra-dimensional storage devices don't seem to work on the technique of miniaturization. Instead, they house a gateway to a micro or pocket dimension that is bound uniquely to that storage device. This means, and we're going to have to use some really iffy science right now, that they would probably hold a wormhole to a place not on our plane of existence, which again on top of that means that the multiverse theory or the infinite universe theory would have to hold true for this to work. Now before you all go rushing off to research wormhole physics in an attempt to create these devices on your own, let me tell you that there's certainly no solution to the I just can't hold all of these things conundrum that we experience in our everyday lives, or at least they're not a perfect solution. There's a couple of caveats. First off, the wormhole link can only be maintained as long as the device that is containing it remains whole. So if your bag, for instance, is damaged or destroyed in some way, if it's pierced, for instance, with a bladed weapon, then all of your items are going to be lost forever, as even if you repair the bag, each link to each dimension is a one-time deal. Secondly, although these devices do lead to another dimension, these dimensions aren't really that big in the grand scheme of things. They're certainly not infinite in capacity, and attempting to send more mass through your little portal then will actually fit in that dimension will cause the wormhole to rupture and all of your stuff will again be lost. The final big caveat on these spaces is that they're kind of devoid of air. So if you put something into these spaces that needs air to live, if it needs to breathe, well, after a couple of minutes, it certainly won't need to breathe anymore. Well, that about wraps us up for this week. Unfortunately, I ran out of time and couldn't tell you all of the really neat stuff. Like, did you know that sometimes the portal is one way only, which means that you can just keep feeding stuff into the spaces, but you can never get it back out, which I guess would make it some kind of really neat garbage disposal unit or other something disposal unit if you have nefarious purposes. Do you have a favorite extra-dimensional storage space? If you could own an extra-dimensional storage space, what would you use it for? And do you think that extra-dimensional storage devices are something that humanity will be able to develop and utilize in the future? Let me know your answers to these questions in the comment section down below, and I will see you next week. Bye!